Hello folks, I am back with a mini review of the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW as well as the Silencer Co. Omega 300 suppressor. And the reason why I'm calling it a mini review is because I did not get enough time or shooting time with this particular firearm and suppressor. Where I'm at, I work at a range, and our range is only open once a week for shooting, unfortunately, due to the pandemic situation. Our range is set up where when we're doing like social distancing, you know how you have your lanes, it's every other lane that a shooter is there. And unfortunately, I'm in that particular situation, and there was not enough time for me to get a real shooting impressions like I wanted to. But however, like I said, with the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW, without the suppressor, just using supersonic rounds, it really shot very well and very accurate. I did shoot this without the optic on here and just using irons, and that the accuracy was really there. But I did have to get the optic to get centered, and you're going to see that on the targets that I want to show you a little bit later. But just talking and it's shooting impressions just from uh, without a suppressor, it shot very well, very accurate, and there was virtually no problems that and no malfunctions or anything of that nature. So I did put uh, the Omega 300 on it, and I shot it with supersonic rounds. And there is a sound, but it's not. It did decrease the sound from without a suppressor, and then I put the subsonic rounds in it. Now it is a total game changer. Like I said in my previous video, this is my first suppressor, and it is definitely a game changer. It's just the sound is just uh, ridiculously quiet. I can't express that enough, and and the sound is just very minimal. Um, like I said, the with the supersonics, this sound is a little louder, but once you put those subsonic rounds in there, it's all she wrote. Uh, it is very accurate still. It does hold its zero when you have the red dot sighted up. And I had a friend of mine. He was shooting with this with me, and we took a couple shots. And basically, he said he was amazed that there is no gases coming back, and that is a main contention for a lot of people who shoot suppressed firearms, that there will be some type of blowback of gas. And fortunately for Daniel Defense, they did something in this area. My understanding is something with the charging handle that it prevents the gases from coming into your face. So that was the main important thing that I wanted to know about. What was there going to be this gassing in the face? A lot of videos show where people are not happy with that type of situation. Like I said, the suppressor did very well, and I'm really happy with it. I plan to get a second suppressor because while I was at the range, there was a guy there. He was using a Silencer Co. Uh, uh, Octane 45, Silencer Co. Octane 45, and that was a suppressor I was looking for because he had it on his CMMG Banshee, and I have a CMMG Banshee in the same caliber as his is for 45 ACP, and that he let me shoot about roughly 4 or 5 shots, and it was really good and very accurate. So that's going to be next on the list for my next suppressor. I'm going to show you just the target. Like I said, press for time. I didn't really get to stretch it out like I want to. This is like 10 to 15 yards, so it's not great like I want it to be. Early early sighting in, as you with the red dot, this is where I was coming. It was coming very low, and I'm playing around with it more and more just to get it to where I want it to be. Now I did get it in this area here. I just was worried about the sound of the suppressor at the time, but as you see here, the groups from the the PDW is it shows really good accuracy. So all I did was make a little more adjustments, and this is what I got. I got this here. My friend or my aunt and or coworker, he and I shot these groups. So he literally picked up the firearm from my hand and still shot in the same area where I intended to pretty much shoot here, but I wanted to shoot in this location, but the sighting was so off, it came right here at this point. Later on, I got it to where I wanted to be, and he and I shot right in this area. So uh, I just need some more shooting time on here. It's unfortunately it was pretty much rush. It was end of the day, but I'm looking forward to getting more time with this suppressor. Uh, I will be using this with the my 6 hour MCX Rattler in 300 blackout, and I'm planning to use this on there. The Rattler I have a lot more shooting time because I had it for quite some time. Actually, the amount of rounds I fired in the PDW is really 200 rounds and not enough to give a decent review. So it was only 200 rounds. That's all I had time for. So the first 40 rounds, I believe, were uh, just supersonic 300 blackout, and the rest were all suppressed with subsonic. So I'm looking forward to trying this suppressor on the Rattler to see if there's going to be a difference in sound and whatnot. And I'm going to do a comparison between the two firearms with the suppressor and also versus without the suppressor because these are a lot of people are starting to ask me which one do I like better, and I can't give that just yet until I get a chance to try both of these to, head to head and also with the suppressor. Well, that's all I have for you at this time. I'm sorry I'm not able to give you a better review or whatnot. So, with that, just happy shooting, stay safe, hashtag 2A.